What are we even looking at today? There's literally no other way to even describe what I'm going to be talking about, but I have a lot of different formats and thoughts about what mini sets, poly bags, foil packs, paper bags are even about. Now, LEGO's market always needs to appeal to everyone, and sometimes LEGO gets a little too expensive, so what about all the sets that are actually affordable? Everything that's pretty much under $5, and I'm looking at everything right here, and it's, approximately, or was like $5 or so. Now, there are technicalities to what I want to even look as criteria today. Now, I have calculated there are about 9 different formats to the mini set genre sub-theme for LEGO. So my big 3 rules. What am I even going to be talking about? Now, this is going to be a little bit loose because they're kind of hard to describe, but my number 1 is builds with or without figures, typically under 100 pieces. Now, there are a couple like paper bag, foil pack, poly bags that have been a little bit more than 100 pieces, but that's kind of rare to find, and like 95% of what we're talking about anyway will kind of fall under a criteria like that, because number 2 is the packaging is not typically on a retail shelf. And honestly, I only really mean that like the packaging is really hard to just put on a shelf to stand, that they have to have like a special sub shelf. My other real criteria is that they're not on the LEGO store site, or excluding like gift with purchases and store exclusives, which I'll get to in a little bit. Because typically you won't find a paper or poly bag on the LEGO site officially, unless it's gonna be some like promotional material. So with all those criteria out of the way, my very loose criteria, we are just gonna get into all of these amazing sets. Now, the only one that doesn't really fit the criteria, but it kind of does, are the planetary sets. Now, the planetary sets were $10 back in the day, so they were the most expensive of the list that we're talking about, but they were also like few and far between. Like, the funniest part is that like they basically had poly bag builds that were already pre-established. Like this X-Wing build with the Yavin 4 was already a set that was already on shelves, so it was basically just taking the exact same model that they had for poly bag form in 2011, and then in 2013 they just added a figure, added a little plate, and added the Yavin ball. And honestly, I don't even mind that because I really love the planetary sets. I think they're really underrated, but they are basically play sets. They're glorified poly bags that were turned into just like having an extra figure, having an extra mold. Though I do think they are in the criteria of what we are talking about today, since they're basically just a step above. As someone who loved poly bags, and if I wish I was just a little bit older, like I probably would have collected every single one of these, especially for these exclusive planets, because like all the minifigures were pretty much figures that you already saw in like other sets regardless anyway. Like the Coruscant one, I remember had like a mini like acclimator that I don't think they'll ever make a poly bag for again, but like the actual molds for these, like they're just like 2 basically just giant domes, right? And they don't actually use these outside of the planetary sets, which are always weird, but you could always use these for like ornaments, so I mean like that's kind of cool. Yeah, but on the channel today we are probably going to actually rank what I think are like the best ones at the end, so just stay tuned. So right now there's about like 9 formats that I want to talk about today, so let's just get out the first one that I think is kind of the wonkiest one, which probably is the gift with purchase. Now these ones are kind of loose on my criteria because they could have figures, could not have figures, but they do come in a very unique poly bag form to begin with, and these are like the ones that are like gift with purchases or just like exclusive promos. Like obviously this one is for the May the 4th promo from 2015-2016, and this is an amazing C3PO, but you wouldn't actually know that because of the red arm. Though I actually have some weirder other exclusives that are pretty similar to this too. Now, I've been saving these two for a very long time, especially this one. I really wanted to talk about the Amazing Force Awakens Deluxe Edition, because when you open the box for this set, you do get to have an exclusive Amazing Finn poly bag. And I haven't really wanted to open it, and I actually still don't want to open it until I want to make another video on this eventually. So this wasn't like a May the 4th promo. This was like an exclusive minifigure that came with the Deluxe Edition for the Force Awakens video game. Though, honestly, it's kind of perplexing because I really do love like this Finn Stormtrooper from the beginning of the movie anyway. And I think this is an exclusive figure to this set as well. Like they used to do this a lot in the mid 2010s, like this Lego Chima Laval's Journey. Now, I wasn't actually gonna get this unless I didn't know that there was already gonna be an amazing Crawley exclusive minifigure poly bag. Now, this is my only Lego Chima set. I've never owned anything from Chima, so I am gonna wait until I make a Chima video about this, but that's some weird examples. We're gonna get actually a little bit weirder because the Lego store also has some exclusive, like, monthly builds that they used to do all the way back in the 2010s as well. And the fun part about these amazing builds right here is that they were basically, like, for any customer that came in and wanted to build them, they used to just hand these out the wazoo. No, literally, I have like a bunch of these monthly builds from like 2013, 2014, just sealed because like legit no one really wants them, and I just like grabbed a bunch of them from like a Bricks and Figs. They don't have like normal packaging, like they do have actual set numbers, but they were only given out at the LEGO stores, and they're basically just like very rudimentary, like basic builds, and they had little instructions in there and such. Not this one, I don't know why this one doesn't. I think this is a cat. Yeah, but that doesn't really matter because then there were some even weirder ones. I remember last year I talked about this one from the LEGO architecture. Well, it's not actually LEGO architecture. This is the Jefferson Memorial, and these are like mini builds they gave out to like a National Americana tour. These were officially produced by LEGO, but it was like technically not LEGO, and you can't find these on like Bricklink or like, I think they have them on Brickset, but because like they're weird exclusives, I mean, they're very rudimentary builds to begin with anyway. Like it's truly the instructions and the original packaging they came from that you will actually tell that these are like official LEGO sets, but it's just like a weird piece of also LEGO history. I just can't find my instructions at the moment, which sucks because like then I could actually show it off again. But I did talk about it last year with my architecture video, and I did like whole research, like Wikipedia article. Just okay, so we already got 2 out of the way right there. So what's the other ones? So I'm gonna get a boring one out of the way because I am gonna consider the format of the paper bags to be different than the poly bags. Essentially, they are the same builds and same contents inside for each one. However, it's just paper. It's not like a poly plastic that they use anymore. It's just paper. Like, it's just the new format they're using. It's cheaper, it cuts costs, and it actually helps the environment a little more, even though we're still cutting down the trees. I don't really care, honestly. Like, at this point, this is just gonna be here to stay. I made a whole video about the polybag versus paper bag dilemma. It's not really a dilemma at this point. I really don't care. It's just kind of like the whatever. Like, the same builds, but you can technically put a little bit more in there, kind of. Whatever. These are just 2 recent sets that came out this year. I just kind of put it in the video anyway. It's kind of the lamest one to talk about. Because realistically, I was even debating on this one. Now, this is actually like the most expensive format from this channel. This was $15 back in 2022. Now, LEGO used to do a lot of these blister packs back in the day, and I'm saying that because I haven't actually seen any of these like formats come and surface up again. Like, these started backing up like in 2018, 2019, and I really haven't seen any more since like 2023, 2024. And I remember this set in particular, this like Clone Trooper one, that like, oh my gosh, we're finally bringing back the Phase 1 Troopers, and this was like so hard to get your hands on for so long. I wouldn't even say these are like common figures to get, because like getting this like amazing, but getting this like yellow Clone Trooper with 2 basic Phase 1 Clone Troopers, we don't even get that many Phase 1 Troopers anymore since 2022. Like, what has happened to it? But like the little station command and the little turret that came on the side of it anyway was amazing, but it also got accompanied inside these amazing Hoth Troopers, and this was nice because in 2022 this would go great with your Snow Trooper Hoth battle pack, and so like you get some rebels to actually fight them, and that's amazing. But a year prior they had an amazing Venom blister pack, and it had the like exclusive pork grinder and another version of the Venomized Iron Man, which is honestly the reason I got this set in the first place. Though I'll be real, my little brain at the time was like, oh my gosh, these figures are gonna skyrocket in the price, and that it was complete FOMO. And honestly, I didn't mind because I'm like a huge Venom fan anyway, so you get Spider-Man, Venom, Iron Man, and an exclusive pork grinder. I don't even have a Spider-Ham, so like this is the only thing I have close to that to begin with anyway. I think the blister packs are pretty cool, but even to say that like they fit the format of the rest of these, I mean, they only technically count because they have figures and they have mini builds, but really I look at these as like character, you know, like battle packs essentially anyway. They're blister packs. They're blister packs for a reason. They're just like nice little impulses, but at the same time too, I don't really consider any of these to be like really fitting the format of like what we're trying to talk about today, because they're really trying to attempt to do something different, but they are technically mini sets. Now, honestly, this is the real reason I even wanted to make this video in the first place, because I wanted to talk about the mini sets, the proper mini sets that came out in the early 2000s. Now, technically, there was something I would also consider to be in the same vein, which were these like mini boxes. Now these are like the only mini boxes that I used to have back in the day, which is like the 10 Zamor spheres, and then I also had like the Baraki little like squid launchers. Though these box formats were not only exclusive to these, they actually used them for a lot of like the mini sets at that time. Like I remember a bunch of like Lego City and Creator sets that came out in these like mini boxes essentially, and I actually had some pictures I can show up right here too. So like I wouldn't actually consider these sets specifically, because like counting this as a set, this is more of an accessory to my criteria. However, there are formats of the set that are from like 2009, 2010, because I can remember like Atlantis, Lego City, Lego Creator using these like same kind of box designs, except they were like more like this anyway. So I gotta put it in as like a format because I am gonna consider that as well. Don't get me even started of what Lego Target was even doing. Like, they made 2 of these. I don't know what to consider this. This is still a mini build. Like, this is, by all intents and purposes, basically a poly bag they put a gift card with, and I think they did this with even a couple other sets too, but like this was like a Target exclusive, so what am I supposed to do with this information? And that's not even considering the mini builds that Walmart exclusives even have, or like even whatever the fucking like Best Buy did last year either, but I don't think that was in a poly bag. This is another format too. This is why I had to put 9. Originally there were gonna be 7 and then there were 9. This is stupid. All right, let's get back to simple basics here. Mini sets were a real like conundrum at the time because it was a subsection of what I just talked about before, but like this type of packaging, and like this was like a thing in like 2003, 2004. I'm actually sure they might have been up till 2005 because I do have this amazing Lambda class shuttle, because you can see the other 4 sets on the back right here, and it doesn't include this one. Like this Lambda shuttle right here is massive for a mini set, and I will know because here's the 2014 one. Like you could see the drastic change from like 10-year difference that this makes. Like this is where I would consider the true like polybag mini set formation really came into. Like yes, the 90s did have a lot of like boxes and stuff too, and they did have polybag paper bags. Like I can still contest they still use polybags for like, you know, like Life on Mars and other early sets like this too. So like technically, you know, there were a bunch of that in the 90s as well. So let's just get to the meat and the potatoes. The real reason that I even made this channel in the first place, because I love polybags. I love this format and we'll never get it back. Now here's the thing, I have just 2 random ones that I never opened up yet, mainly because I already had one from last year. I don't know why I don't feel like just unsealing this, but this one I just picked up recently anyway too. And honestly, it's just because I like cheap mini builds. And honestly, I had this set in my collection for over 10 years. I saw this one on Star Wars Day and I sat there and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna have both of them because I want to have both of them, because this was also like $5 because no one wants a sequel set. I mean, I don't even need to say much about polybags. I think most of you know from this channel, or just being a Lego fan in general, I think this format is just supreme. I don't think this really even beats it out. Maybe except for one. Here's the thing we don't talk enough about on this channel, the foil pack, and this is the trouble one that I have to come to terms with, because these aren't even released in America. These are actually more European, UK exclusives that come in like magazines and such, and I can't really be the one to say it because like, and I would love to keep talking more about foil packs, but I don't even have that many because I only have like 3 of them in my collection. This is the only one I have sealed at the moment because I just picked this up recently, but these foil packs are kind of perplexing because either you're gonna get like an exclusive figure with it, or you're gonna just get like an exclusive mini build. And sometimes you'll get foil packs that have things that Lego Star Wars or Lego like anything has never made before, and sometimes you just get weird exclusives or just figures that like, you know, are already in like multiple sets, and they'll just throw in one and then it makes the value of that figure or set just cheaper. There's only a few times that like, yeah, they've generally made an Obi-Wan Starfighter. I think I got this cheap on Bricklink one time. Like this droid Echo generally is like an amazing build, but I just wish that like it actually folded in a little bit more like the 2013 and other variants of it as well. But I can't even argue it. But it's weird because the only thing I don't like about foil packs is that there's no instructions in it. Like you have to look online for the instructions. I mean, it doesn't matter for like minifigures, but for like these builds, I kind of wish they did, because every time I tried to build this, I had to just guess half the time, or I just had to look it up online. And yeah, you know, whatever, they have the set number. Oh, that's right, they don't have the set number on here too, so that makes it even more difficult. Good thing I have Bricklink to help me out with this kind of stuff. And see, I was almost gonna put CMFs in this like whole lot, and like that would have been like another like 5 or 10 different subsections, because then we would have got into like Lego Mario and then the boxes versus like the foil pack original for the CMFs. And then, okay, let's be real, let's be realistic. The only things that I'm really gonna consider being like the best, I love blister packs, but they didn't make enough of them. I like foil packs, except I despise their distribution. Polybag and paper bags are objectively like the best ones, though I gotta be real. These are starting to grow on me. Like, I think the squid ammo wins the battle for today. Now, everyone go and comment what favorite color of squids you like in Bionicle, because we're gonna open this on the channel because we're gonna lose the $40 value on it. Oh my god, did I really pay 18 bucks for fucking squids? What the hell? Does it even come with the launcher? I can't even tell if it comes with the launcher. If it comes with the launcher at least, wait, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, there's 7. Oh, there's only 7 pieces. It doesn't even come with the launchers. That's the stupidest thing. At least if it came with the launcher, it's like, what the people were paying for extra squid ammo. I just really wanted to talk. I should have just made a whole video about squid ammo and left it for Bionicle Day. Oh my god! Minion. I was even almost considering even putting like McTorn, like McDonald toys, and also like Mighty Micros in this kind of bunch too, but like, oh my gosh, it's like, there's so many mini sets. Quattro. Fuck you, I lied, it's Mixels. Mixels were in like polybag forms, haha, fuck you. Mixels are supreme. We love Mixels on the channel. There were 10 formats, I lied to you.